Ever wonder what kind of woman chooses solitude over socializing and embraces her natural beauty without a hint of makeup? What if stepping away from the noise of society and rejecting the pressure to conform could actually lead to a more peaceful, healthier life? What if living authentically, with less focus on external expectations, could unlock a new path to self-fulfillment and inner peace? In today's video, we're diving into the world of a woman who dares to live differently. Someone who values personal growth, simplicity, and confidence in her true self. We'll explore the 8 lesser-known habits that make her lifestyle uniquely fulfilling and truly authentic. Let's take a closer look at how these habits can shape a life that is more intentional, more meaningful, and more connected to who she truly is. Habit 1. The value of alone time. One of the key habits of a woman who avoids unnecessary socializing is her deep appreciation for alone time. While many people may feel uncomfortable or anxious when alone, she understands the profound benefits of solitude. Alone time isn't seen as a void or negative space, but rather as a precious opportunity for personal reflection and mental clarity. She knows that stepping away from the chaos of daily life allows her to recharge, reset, and reconnect with herself on a deeper level. In solitude, she can reflect on her thoughts, feelings, and experiences without the distractions or influences of others. This isn't just about analyzing past actions or decisions. It's about learning, growing, and finding deeper understanding. She uses this time to process emotions, evaluate her goals, and assess whether she is staying true to her personal values. In this quiet space, free from the noise of society's expectations, she focuses solely on her inner voice. Unlike those who feel the constant need to be surrounded by others, she finds strength in silence. Solitude allows her to listen to herself more clearly and cultivate a sense of inner peace. She isn't afraid of being alone because she knows that it's during these moments that her true self emerges. It's where she can find clarity in decisions, heal from past experiences, and develop a strong sense of self-assurance. Alone time becomes her sacred ritual for growth. A time where she nurtures her mental and emotional well-being and lays the foundation for a grounded sense of self. In a world that can often feel overwhelming with its constant demands and distractions, she understands that personal growth thrives in solitude. Whether it's reading, journaling, meditating, or simply reflecting on life, this time becomes an essential part of her self-improvement. She is free from external pressure and judgment, allowing her to focus on becoming the best version of herself. By prioritizing alone time, she becomes a more centered and grounded individual. This habit not only strengthens her mental health, but also equips her to handle life's challenges and the complexities of relationships. Rather than relying on others to fill her cup, she taps into her own reservoir of strength and resilience. Ultimately, she becomes a woman who lives life on her own terms. Habit 2. Selective socializing. Another defining habit of a woman who embraces solitude and avoids unnecessary socializing is her approach to friendships and social connections. She values the quality of her interactions far more than the quantity. While many people feel the pressure to constantly socialize and maintain a large circle of acquaintances, she takes a more discerning approach. She understands that meaningful connections, built on trust, respect, and shared values, are far more fulfilling than superficial interactions or the need to be everywhere all the time. For her, it's not about attending every social gathering or saying yes to every event. Instead, she is intentional about the relationships she invests in. Recognizing that energy and time are finite resources, she chooses to nurture a few deep, authentic connections with people who truly resonate with her. Whether it's close friends or family, these relationships are built on a foundation of mutual understanding and emotional support, rather than surface-level interactions. Guarding her mental and emotional well-being. Selective socializing also allows her to protect her mental and emotional well-being. By being mindful of the people she spends time with, she avoids toxic dynamics or energy-draining relationships. Rather than surrounding herself with individuals who demand too much or bring negativity into her life, she gravitates toward those who uplift her and align with her values. This allows her to protect her peace and focus on relationships that contribute to her growth and happiness. Setting boundaries with ease. Another key aspect of selective socializing is her ability to say no without guilt. She doesn't feel the need to overextend herself or overcommit to social obligations just to please others. Instead, she sets clear boundaries that help her maintain balance in her life. Whether it's politely declining an invitation or not engaging in an event that doesn't serve her well-being, she respects her own time and energy. This freedom from societal expectations of constant socializing gives her the space to live authentically and without unnecessary stress. The reward of meaningful connections. Ultimately, her selective approach to socializing leads to deeper, more fulfilling relationships. By choosing to surround herself with people who truly matter, she creates a network of support that helps her thrive in all aspects of life. These close-knit connections become a source of joy, strength, and understanding, offering her the kind of fulfillment that fleeting, large social circles can never provide. This habit of focusing on quality over quantity not only nurtures her inner circle, but also contributes to her overall well-being and peace of mind. Habit 3. Being comfortable in silence. A woman who embraces her natural beauty and avoids unnecessary socializing has a unique relationship with silence. She doesn't feel the pressure to constantly talk, fill the room with noise, or seek distractions to avoid quiet moments. In fact, she finds peace and clarity in silence. While many people may feel uncomfortable when there's no conversation, she embraces silence as an opportunity to connect with her own thoughts and recharge her energy. For her, silence isn't awkward or empty. It's a sacred space filled with potential for reflection and deeper understanding. Silence as a sacred space for self-reflection. This comfort with silence speaks to her inner peace. She doesn't rely on external noise or chatter to feel fulfilled or entertained. Instead, she understands that silence is a powerful tool for self-reflection and mental clarity. In moments of quiet, she is able to process her thoughts, emotions, and experiences in ways that words simply cannot capture. Silence allows her to truly hear her own voice and cultivate a sense of inner calm, free from the constant distractions of the outside world. Comfort with silence in relationships. In her relationships, this comfort with silence shows up as well. She doesn't feel the need to fill every gap in conversation with small talk or idle chatter. Instead, she allows for pauses in discussions, trusting that the silence will speak volumes. This doesn't mean she's cold or disinterested. It means she understands the value of stillness in communication. Sometimes, the most profound connections happen not through words, but through shared moments of quiet presence. She knows that just being there, without saying a word, can be the most meaningful way to connect with others. Mental health benefits of silence. Being comfortable in silence also enhances her mental health. In a world filled with constant noise, whether it's the hum of technology, the chatter of social media, or the rush of everyday life, she has learned to embrace quiet moments. This silence allows her to tune into her own feelings, check in with her mental state, and clear her mind of the clutter that can lead to stress and anxiety. In the absence of noise, she finds grounding and clarity, which helps her maintain emotional balance, even during challenging times. Cultivating self-awareness and mindfulness. Lastly, her ability to find peace in silence cultivates a deep sense of self-awareness and mindfulness. Whether she's meditating, walking alone in nature, or simply sitting with her thoughts, she creates space for the kind of introspection that fuels personal growth. Silence is her tool for tuning into her inner world, understanding her needs, desires, and boundaries, and nurturing her mental and emotional well-being. In a world that often values noise and constant activity, she shows us that true peace can often be found in the quietest moments. Habit 4. Confidence in natural beauty. One of the most striking habits of a woman who avoids unnecessary socializing and doesn't wear makeup is her deep confidence in her natural beauty. In a world where society often bombards women with messages about the need for makeup and external enhancements to be considered attractive, she chooses to reject these pressures. She embraces her natural appearance, understanding that true beauty isn't about conforming to fleeting trends or unattainable standards, but about being comfortable in her own skin. Beauty that shines from within, her confidence shines from within, radiating a sense of self-assurance that comes from embracing who she truly is, both inside and out. For her, beauty is not something to be manufactured or covered up. It's something to be celebrated in its purest form. Whether it's her freckles, wrinkles, or unstyled hair, she knows that these unique features make her who she is. Rather than trying to fit into the narrow definition of beauty that the world imposes, she proudly showcases her true self. Effortless beauty from authenticity. This acceptance of her natural features allows her to feel free and unburdened, no longer concerned with hiding or altering what makes her distinct. Her beauty is effortless because it comes from a place of authenticity, not artifice. Her confidence isn't about vanity. It's about self-love and respect for her body. She understands that every line, mark, and imperfection tells a story and holds value. Aging gracefully, for example, is not something to dread, but something to honor. Each wrinkle or gray hair is a reminder of the life she's lived and the experiences that have shaped her. She doesn't feel the need to hide these marks of time, but instead wears them with pride, understanding that they reflect a rich and meaningful life. Self-worth beyond appearance. This habit also helps her build a strong sense of self-worth that isn't tied to her appearance. While many people's sense of beauty and value are directly linked to how they look on the outside, she recognizes that true confidence comes from within. Her natural beauty is merely a reflection of her inner strength, resilience, and wisdom. She knows that her worth is not defined by her physical appearance, but by the character, kindness, and integrity she embodies. Breaking free from comparison and insecurity. This mindset frees her from the endless cycle of comparison and insecurity that many women face in today's image-obsessed society. By embracing her natural beauty, she sets an example for others to do the same. In a world that often glorifies perfection and airbrushed ideals, she shows that beauty is diverse and multifaceted. She is a living testament to the power of self-acceptance, encouraging others, especially women, to look beyond the superficial and discover their own confidence in their natural selves. Her habit of embracing her true appearance is a reminder that the most powerful kind of beauty is the one that doesn't try to be anything other than what it is. Habit 5. Minimalism in self-care. A woman who practices minimalism in self-care embraces her natural beauty and avoids unnecessary socializing. She simplifies her routine, focusing on what truly nurtures her body and mind, rather than overwhelming herself with countless products or complicated regimens. Her goal is not to fix anything, but to gently support and enhance what is already there. Instead of relying on an array of trendy, expensive products, she chooses natural, clean essentials that suit her skin type, whether it's a simple cleanser, moisturizer, or sunscreen. Consistency is her key to maintaining healthy, glowing skin. She's not swayed by fleeting beauty fads or promises of quick fixes, trusting instead in the power of simple, regular self-care rituals. Her approach goes beyond skincare. She doesn't clutter her life with excessive grooming routines, beauty treatments, or an endless list of products. Her practices are rooted in simplicity and balance. Whether it's stretching, meditating, or enjoying a warm bath, each ritual serves to nourish her body, mind, and soul without overwhelming her. By keeping her routine minimal, she can focus on what brings her true peace and well-being. Minimalism in self-care also means she doesn't chase perfection. She understands her beauty doesn't need to be continually fixed or improved. Rather than succumbing to societal standards, she takes care of herself in a way that feels nourishing and sustainable. Her routine is not about changing her appearance. It's about maintaining a healthy, radiant version of herself. This relaxed, holistic approach ensures her self-care practices remain stress-free and grounding, transforming them into an enjoyable part of her day. Ultimately, her minimalist self-care habit reinforces the idea that beauty doesn't need to be complicated. By focusing on the basics, nourishing her skin, maintaining her health, and taking time for herself, she enhances her natural beauty without constant intervention. Her approach is simple, empowering, and a reminder that the most beautiful version of ourselves is often the unaltered one. Habit 6. Authenticity above perfection. A woman who embraces her natural beauty and avoids unnecessary socializing values. Authenticity over the pursuit of perfection. In a world that often links beauty with flawlessness, she rejects the notion that perfection is something to chase. Instead of masking her features with layers of makeup or altering her appearance to fit societal standards, she proudly embraces who she is, flaws and all. For her, authenticity is far more important than conforming to an unattainable ideal. She understands that true beauty comes from the freedom to express herself as she truly is, without the pressure to meet external expectations. This commitment to authenticity shows in the way she carries herself and interacts with others. She doesn't feel the need to hide her imperfections, whether it's a blemish, wrinkle, or unique feature. Rather than seeking to erase what makes her distinctive, she celebrates it. Her beauty isn't something to perfect. It's something to appreciate in its natural state. This mindset allows her to be at ease with herself, knowing she doesn't need to hide behind a curated image or alter her true self to feel valued. Authenticity over perfection also shapes how she connects with the world. She isn't concerned with presenting a polished, flawless version of herself to others. Instead, she values genuine connections with people who appreciate her for who she truly is, not for the version of herself she feels pressured to present. She shows up authentically in both personal and social interactions, confident that being true to herself will attract the right people and opportunities. In a society that often rewards polished facades, she reminds us that true connection and fulfillment come from embracing vulnerability and imperfection. By prioritizing authenticity, she frees herself from the constant comparison game that perfection often demands. In a world filled with curated social media images and edited photos, it's easy to feel inadequate, but she chooses to step outside that cycle. She doesn't compare herself to others because she understands that everyone has their own unique beauty, and there is no one-size-fits-all standard. Her confidence comes from knowing that her worth isn't defined by perfection, but by her authenticity and the values she holds dear. Ultimately, valuing authenticity over perfection makes her life simpler and more fulfilling. She no longer wastes time or energy trying to fit into an ideal that doesn't resonate with who she is. Instead, she focuses on being the most authentic version of herself, radiating a natural beauty that comes from within. Her message to others is clear. There's no need to strive for perfection when the most beautiful thing you can be is yourself. Habit 7. Intentional choices in life. A woman who avoids unnecessary socializing and makeup is likely to live with intentionality, making deliberate choices that align with her values, goals, and personal desires. She doesn't let herself be swept away by societal expectations or distractions. Instead, she takes time to evaluate what truly matters to her in every aspect of her life, whether it's her work, relationships, or daily routines. Whether she's deciding how to spend her free time, choosing her circle of friends, or investing in a new project, she approaches each decision with purpose and clarity. For her, living intentionally means being mindful of where she directs her energy and resources, ensuring they contribute to her sense of well-being and fulfillment. In her professional life, intentionality plays a key role. She doesn't say yes to every opportunity that comes her way simply because it's available. She carefully considers whether it aligns with her values, career goals, and long-term vision. She is focused on creating a fulfilling and meaningful career, one that brings her joy and purpose. Whether choosing a job, client, or project, she asks herself if it will contribute to her personal growth and well-being. This thoughtful approach helps her avoid burnout and dissatisfaction, as she doesn't stretch herself too thin or chase success for its own sake. Her work is a reflection of her values, and she prioritizes quality over quantity. In relationships, this intentionality translates into choosing people who uplift and support her. She values deep, meaningful connections over large social circles. She isn't interested in filling her life with people just for the sake of being surrounded by others. Instead, she cultivates relationships that are authentic, supportive, and reciprocal. She invests time and energy in those who truly align with her values, creating a tight-knit circle of people who help her grow. This intentional approach helps her avoid the emotional exhaustion of trying to please everyone or maintain superficial connections. Her daily activities also reflect her commitment to living intentionally. Rather than rushing through life or mindlessly going through the motions, she makes conscious choices that nurture her well-being. She is selective about how she spends her time, ensuring each activity serves a purpose, whether it's for relaxation, personal growth, or health. She might engage in activities like reading, walking, or spending time alone rather than filling her schedule with commitments that don't contribute to her happiness. Her days are designed around creating balance and fulfillment, with each choice reflecting her desire for a more purposeful life. By making intentional choices, she also avoids distractions that could pull her away from what truly matters. She isn't swayed by fleeting trends or pressures to keep up with. Instead, she listens to her inner voice, trusting that her decisions will lead her to a more meaningful and authentic life. This habit empowers her to take control of her own path, designing each day with intention and focus, and creating a life that reflects her true desires and values. Blank_blank. Habits 8. Focus on inner fulfillment over external validation. A woman who avoids unnecessary socializing and makeup places high value on seeking fulfillment from within, rather than relying on external sources for approval. In a world that often prioritizes appearances and external validation, she chooses to look inward for her sense of worth and happiness. She understands that true fulfillment doesn't come from accolades or superficial approval, but from self-acceptance, purpose, and the quiet contentment of knowing she is living in alignment with her values. This focus on inner fulfillment helps her remain grounded and centered, regardless of what's happening around her. Her confidence isn't contingent upon likes, compliments, or external praise. She doesn't need others to validate her decisions, appearance, or lifestyle. Instead, she finds strength in her own inner convictions. Whether she's making a decision about her career, relationships, or how she spends her time, her choices are guided by her personal sense of purpose and fulfillment. Self-acceptance plays a key role in this habit. She embraces herself, flaws, strengths, quirks, without the need to compare herself to others. She doesn't measure her worth based on societal standards of success or beauty. Instead, she finds peace in who she is at her core. By cultivating self-acceptance, she removes the pressure to conform to external expectations and can focus on creating a life that feels authentic to her. Her happiness comes from the deep understanding that she is enough just as she is, and that is what truly matters. Purpose is another key driver of her inner fulfillment. She seeks out activities, work, and relationships that align with her values and bring her a sense of meaning. Whether it's helping others, pursuing a passion, or spending time doing something that nourishes her soul, she places her focus on what gives her life purpose. By nurturing this sense of purpose, she creates a life that feels rewarding, without the need for external acknowledgement. She doesn't need others to tell her she's doing a good job. She knows she's living in a way that aligns with her inner compass. Ultimately, this habit of focusing on inner fulfillment allows her to experience life more fully. She is free from the emotional roller coaster of seeking approval from others and is instead anchored in her own values, purpose, and self-acceptance. She understands that true happiness doesn't come from outside sources, but from the quiet contentment of knowing she is living authentically and purposefully. This deep sense of fulfillment gives her the strength and resilience to navigate life's challenges with grace and confidence, knowing her worth is inherent, not dependent on external validation. In a world that often pressures us to conform, the woman who chooses solitude, embraces her natural beauty, and makes intentional decisions truly embodies the power of living authentically. By focusing on inner fulfillment, authenticity, and meaningful connections, she creates a life that is rich in purpose and peace. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about being true to yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment with either a 9 or a 0. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, take care and stay true to who you are.